Which one of these riders will experience pain and who will experience pleasure? We're about to find out. Joining us tonight for this main event, we have Speedbox, Aiden, Beast, MX Goon, Dad Shoes, Jones, Lamunion, David, Dirteen, Minnie, Steez, Nightless, Panda, Morgan, Troy, Gerb, Reese, Dorian, and Stone Rider. Where is Rubes? There he is. Did I say Rubes? I don't think I did. So the story tonight, as always, guys, is number 317, your current points leader and red plate holder in the 450 class, going to be able to maintain his lead over this man right here. 13 points separate Dad Shoes and Rubes with 5 rounds remaining. Here we go. 15-second board is sideways, and the gate is down. Who is going to get the whole shot? Dad Shoes swings wide to avoid the chaos and has to cut deep. Hopefully he can get a good run around the outside, but it's Rubes on the MXB Mods Honda who gets a commanding start off the gate. Nice hole shot. Stone Rider sitting in second. Jones goes down sideways. Dorian is going to take the third place spot. No, it's going to be Dad Shoes who ends up getting in the mix with Dorian. And the third place rider in this championship, Reese, takes the number 3 spot away. But here comes Dad Shoes in 4th. Morgan sitting in 5th. Minnie is in 5th. Steez is in 6th. Beyond that, it is anybody's race as Dirteen now moves up into the 7th place spot but makes a mistake and goes down. So let's get back up here and watch as our leaders are preparing for battle. 19 minutes left on the clock here as Dad Shoes is trying to make his way around Reese, get himself early up into this battle for the lead. It may look like an outdoor stadium, you guys, but this is a coliseum, and these gladiators are trying to win a title here as Dad Shoes moves his way around Reese into the 3rd place spot. Stone Rider still sitting in 2nd. Rubes trying to take a commanding lead and check out here early and claim the throne for Atlanta number 1. Morgan sitting in 4th, Steez in 5th. Reese's mistake costs him some time as he falls back to 6th. Troy on the McMonster Kawasaki sits in 7th. Jones in 8th. Dorian now sits in 9th. Moves up to 8th. It's Aiden who sits in 9th as Troy makes a mistake. Gerb is now rounding out your top 10. So let's get back up here as the Bud Racing Honda riders are battling it out for 5th place. Stone Rider makes a mistake and goes down. Dad Shoes there to capitalize, moving through the sand section as he takes the 2nd place spot. He has a clean track in front of him with nothing in his sights except for Rubes, the points leader. Dad Shoes, I've said it once and I'll say it again, guys. His targeting systems are on lock. Heat-seeking missiles coming out of the back of the McMonster Kawasaki. He needs to keep it cleaner than that, though, as he almost blows the berm and goes down. But nevertheless, 17 minutes, just under 18 minutes left here in the main event, and it couldn't be any better than this. A clean track in front of him. Stone Rider is able to get back up on the bike and on 2 wheels, and now he is back into the 3rd place spot, trying to hunt down Dad Shoes. Stone Rider having picked up some momentum in the latter half of this Aerial ESX World Championship Series, almost getting a win at Daytona, getting a win at Arlington 3, I believe. So he's riding the momentum of some of the previous rounds and trying to get up front and get up front quickly. Reese making it around Steez into the 5th place spot, but Steez not wanting to let him go anywhere. As Steez had a very good run in his heat race, getting 2nd place behind Dad Shoes, as Reese makes a mistake and is going to go over the bars. So just like that, Steez takes that position away and moves up into the 5th place spot. Morgan on a good ride here, having some good success here at Atlanta, holding down 4th. Stone Rider still in 3rd, Dad Shoes in 2nd. Looks like he is starting to make up some time on Rubes. As soon as Rubes crosses the finish line and Dad Shoes crosses the finish line, we will have information coming out about their lap times, unless we already do. Yeah, Rubes with a 2:08 as his first lap. That's nowhere near their fast lap. So as soon as they cross the finish line here, we will get to see what kind of lap times they're running and maybe have a better idea of whether or not Dad Shoes is going to be able to catch up regardless of Rubes' mistakes. So here we go. Rubes is going to cross the finish line now with a 1:41 lap time. Dad Shoes comes across with a 1:40 flat. So Dad Shoes running almost 2 seconds faster than Rubes. This is what he needs. He needs the speed. He needs the drive. He needs to be able to have nothing in front of him except for a clean, open track. And Rubes makes a mistake and does go down. So there you go, guys. Dad Shoes now takes the lead on Rubes. Dad Shoes holds the #1 position, and it is going to be a long-winded battle on this wide-open Atlanta track. I have been waiting all week for this. I'm a fan of both of these guys, but this is what I want to see. I want to see a battle for the lead between the 2 championship title contenders. 5 rounds is a lot of racing left to go, but every single position and every single race between here and Salt Lake City 2 is going to matter. Stone Rider still sitting in 3rd, Morgan sitting in 4th. Aiden on the KBell Racing team finds his way into 5th. Out of the corner of my eye there, I see them heading through the rhythm section. So let's go on board with Rubes and watch what it's like to drop heaters like this in the 450 main event and try to catch Dad Shoes for the lead. Kind of making a mistake there after the bridge, not able to get the best run through the whoop section there. Man, Rubes is completely sending it through this sand. His teammate Stone Rider actually goes down after the whoops and makes a mistake, so we're on board with Morgan now. Stone Rider back on Rubes. Take a look at these track cameras here from Arlington as Dad Shoes crosses the finish line in 1st. Going a little bit slower. His last lap a 1:41, but Rubes' mistake obviously cost him a lot of time. So we will check back in with him in just a minute as Stone Rider sitting in 3rd, Morgan in 4th, Aiden in 5th, Dorian in 6th. Steez holding down the 7th place spot, trying to fend off Troy, who's sitting in 8th. Jones on the 46 testing Honda is in 9th, and it is LeMunyon with the Wicked Racing team who is rounding out our top 10. So let's get a little closer here and watch as we do have a battle between Troy and Steez for the 7th place spot. Steez makes a little bit of a mistake and bobbles there coming after the roller. Troy takes the outside. Steez goes in. Troy is going to be able to get the inside line away, but will the momentum... Oh, Steez tucks the front and goes down just there at the tough blocks. He's going to lose 2 positions in the blink of an eye. Jones goes by. LeMunyon goes by. Troy now moves back up into the 7th place spot. Let's go forward here and check on Dorian. Aiden, Morgan makes a mistake in the rhythm section. Aiden gets a good drive and is trying to run around the outside. Can the momentum carry him through the whoops and make a pass? No, he's got to adjust his line and make a correction to not run into the back of Morgan, so Morgan holds on. Rubes still sitting in 2nd. Dad Shoes starting to check out a little bit more from him. Nevertheless, Rubes is still in the same position Dad Shoes was. He has a clean track in front of him with nothing but Dad Shoes in his sights. Stone Rider trying not to let either of these riders go anywhere. 13 minutes still left on the clock. Any kind of mistake from these guys can cost them the lead, and Stone Rider can be there to capitalize. So Aiden does finally get around Morgan. Morgan gets a good, strong run through the whoop section here. Coming into the sand as we are about to round out another lap here at Arlington. Check in the back here as Troy has gapped Jones just by a little bit. Reese has now moved up, I believe, into the 9th place spot. LeMunyon still sitting in 10th, feeling the pressure from MX Goon on that Let's Ride KTM as Goon is trying to make his way around LeMunyon as well. Beast on the 180 decals Kawasaki fending off Steez for this position. Little battles everywhere all over the track. You can see in the top left of your screen, Dad Shoes has a 6-second gap over Rubes. Uh-oh, Steez tries to cut it a little bit too sharp, and that berm spins his back tire out. Causes him to almost go down. He manages to keep it up, but he loses time on his battle with Beast and is now looking at a bar-to-bar situation here with David for the 12th place spot. We'll check back in on that in just a little bit. Let's go forward here as LeMunyon has now caught up to Jones and is trying to make a pass as quickly as he can. Just in front of Jones here, we do see a battle with Reese. So Jones gets a good run through these rollers here, trying to catch up to Reese. Let's see what lines they choose to take through the rhythm section. Reese goes outside, opts to double over. Jones tries to do the same, but ends up getting caught up and loses a position. Almost tucks the front, but manages to keep it up. LeMunyon getting a good drive through here, but can't quite end the rhythm section with enough speed. Looking in the back, a lot of riders going down. Goon goes down, Beast goes down, Jones goes down, so a lot of chaos happening there. Dorian has now caught up to this battle with Troy and Morgan. Aiden still in 4th, Stone Rider still in 3rd, Rubes in 2nd, and there's Dad Shoes. So timing and scoring is going to update on the left side of your screen, and we will have a better idea of just how far Dad Shoes is in front of Rubes. But Troy makes the outside pass on Morgan through the whoop section and reclaims that spot, as now Dorian is trying to do the same. Let's go on board with Dorian here as he is trying to push up and catch up to Troy. Latch on to the McMonster Kawasaki rider. Oh no, Troy makes a mistake and goes down, so now 2 riders go by again. Morgan claims that spot, and Dorian makes the pass as well. Let's see if Dorian's going to treat Morgan with respect here. Looks like he is. He had a prime position there to shut down Morgan's line around the outside. As Morgan cross jumps a little bit, Dorian corrects in the air and is going to make a pass on the straight. Over the roller, Dorian sends it into the whoops here, if that's what you want to call them. They're not really a whoop section, but Dorian does make a pass there on Morgan, and something must have happened to Morgan as he goes down, because now he is feeling the pressure from Reese, who is also going to get by. So Troy losing a lot of time because of that incident. Dad Shoes with almost a 10-second gap over Rubes right now. Dad Shoes holding down number 1. Uh-oh, Rubes gets a little squirrely, almost wheelies out, tries to slam that back brake and correct it, and ends up going over the bars. So here comes Stone Rider trying to catch up and capitalize. Stone Rider was about 8 seconds down off of Rubes, and certainly the mistake that Rubes just made is going to help his case. Stone Rider kind of on an island by himself with everyone behind him. Dorian now finds himself into a top 5, just like he is in the points. Reese goes down in the corner, makes a similar mistake that Rubes did. Reese is currently sitting in 3rd in the overall series points. Remember, this is round 13 of 17. So Morgan goes by, capitalizing on the mistake that Reese made. And here comes Troy on that McMonster Kawasaki, getting ever closer to the area where he made a mistake last lap, and he almost does it again, and he does. He goes down in the sand section over the bars, and Slow Physics are grabbing him and pulling him down, as it looks like LeMunyon on the Wicked Racing Honda is going to be able to make a pass on Troy. So LeMunyon should now be moved up into the 8th place spot. Reese is going to cross the finish line here. We will see timing and scoring update on your left, as he still sits in 7th, Morgan in 6th. And so things are starting to space out just a little bit. Dad Shoes still out here holding a commanding lead over Rubes. 11 seconds is what the gap was at the end of last lap. You can see Rubes has not even hit the whoop section yet. He's just now going through it, and Dad Shoes is already on the other side. Let's actually go to the free roam camera here and get a good idea for how big this gap is. There is Dad Shoes, and there is Rubes. So Dad Shoes really putting on a show here tonight, a clinic, if you will. But look at this. He is now starting to get into lap traffic, and this can only mean good things for Rubes. If Dad Shoes gets held up, if any of these lappers cause him any drama, there's still 8 minutes plus 1 lap in this main event for Dad Shoes to make a mistake. Don't want to put that juju on him. Would love to see Dad Shoes take the win here tonight. But here comes a battle for 2nd place between Rubes and Stone Rider. So here we go, you guys. I think Rubes has made quite a few mistakes in that lap that have possibly put him back, and Stone Rider has capitalized on every single one of them. Let's go down on track and watch what it's like to be in a battle for the lead, or for the 2nd place, rather, in the 450 main. Rubes gets a good outside drive, but the 450 power will get Stone Rider over this double. 16-second gap is what Dad Shoes now has over Rubes. Rubes gets a little bit of a better drive through that section there after the finish, but Stone Rider still right here and ready to play. Here he goes. Rubes makes a mistake, and Stone Rider gets the better drive through the triples, and on he goes. So Rubes now falls back to 3rd. This is even better news for Dad Shoes, as every position that Rubes falls back is more points for him on the championship. So I believe Dad Shoes was already in a position to take that 13-point gap and drop it down to 10. Now he's looking at closing it down to 8 as Rubes makes another mistake in the whoop section. Aiden not yet there to capitalize, but he is pushing himself through the rhythm section and coming up. So Rubes needs to keep it clean. He's got to keep this thing up on 2 wheels and maintain composure, because Dad Shoes is looking at cutting 5 points off of this championship series, and there are still 4 rounds left to go. Dad Shoes is still sitting in the lead, having gotten by Durteen and Speedbox. Aiden still sitting in 4th, Dorian in 5th, Reese in the 6th place spot, Morgan in 7th, David in 8th, Troy sitting in 9th. It's MX Goon who rounds out our top 10. So let's watch here as we have a battle between Troy, David, and Morgan. Troy makes the pass on David, moves up into the 8th place spot. Now has his sights set on Morgan. There he goes. Almost had it around the outside of that sand section along the tough blocks. Troy gets a good drive and is trying to make a pass around Morgan, but Morgan's not having it. Morgan tries to shut it down, but Troy edges by. Now takes over the 7th place spot. So 2 positions just like that as Troy is on the hunt trying to catch up to Reese. You said it. Rubes makes the mistake and goes down. So now here is Aiden to capitalize, and now Aiden moves up into 3rd place spot. An 8-point gap has just closed to 6. Dad Shoes is looking at being able to put himself within single-digit range of Rubes here, within potentially a 1 race. Atlanta 2 could mean Dad Shoes comes away with the red plates. These are the things that Rubes has to consider when he is in these positions, because he is handing it over to Dad Shoes right now. He might as well be unstrapping the red plate from that KTM and getting ready to put it on the Cowie if he does not get back up here in front of Aiden, continue to hard charge through this pack. Makes another mistake. Oh, good thing he keeps it up. Come on, Rubes. Fortunately keeps it up on 2 wheels, but here comes Dorian. Dorian's still quite a ways off. We'll see just how far he is back on Stone Rider. But Aiden really having a good ride here. This might be Aiden's best finish in the Aerial Supercross Series. I'm not sure, but he does currently sit in 3rd. Stone Rider is still holding on to 2nd, but with a 17-point gap on Dad Shoes. So Rubes, as we mentioned, Rubes is sitting physically in 4th, but Aiden has enough cuts, actually, that Rubes is being counted as 3rd. So even though Aiden is up front, he does need to check out on Rubes if he wants to hold on to that 3rd place spot. Let's take a look here. Aiden has a 5-second cutting penalty. That's what's costing him that time. He's the only rider, I believe, with a 5-second cutting penalty. So this is good news for Rubes. He still has the necessary speed and the capability to stay within that range on Aiden. Dorian nowhere near striking distance on this position for Rubes. So really Rubes is racing against the clock right now, trying to close this gap between him and Aiden's ghost, if you will. Still within that 3rd place spot. Off to the left side of your screen there, you can see Dad Shoes heading across the finish now. 2.5 minutes plus 1 lap remain for your race leader. Sand section is giving Rubes a hard time, but everywhere else on the track he seems to have the capability to catch up to Aiden. Aiden running about the 1:43 lap times here. We will see what it is when he crosses the finish line. 1:44 as his last lap, and Rubes with a 1:44 as well. So both of them running about the same pace. Rubes has the capability for a 1:41. This track is starting to get more eroded. It's starting to get a little more beat up. So we'll just have to see. Stone Rider almost going down there, managing to keep it up. Aiden starting to put a good gap on Rubes. Did have barely enough of a gap at the end of that last lap to hold on to that 3rd place spot. 1/10 of a second is how far outside of Aiden's cutting penalties Rubes was as he came across the finish line in 4th officially. So here is your 5th place rider, Dorian, as he is entering the rhythm section as Rubes is exiting. Reese all the way back here in 6th. It's David who sits in 7th, Troy in the 8th place spot, MX Goon in 9th, and Morgan has fallen all the way back to 10th. So these riders back here continue to just kind of switch up positions with one another. Back and forth, back and forth. Troy comes over the table, opts to take the outside, doubles in, doubles over table, going for the triple-double. Oh, but he can't get it. Makes a mistake in the rhythm section and goes down. So David is going to get more gap between that battle. MX Goon makes a mistake in the corner. So here comes Morgan, guys. We have a 3-way battle again for this position, as Morgan almost had a good drive through the whoop section there, but ends up bobbling just a little bit and losing whatever bar-to-bar battle he had with Goon. Troy ends up coming back out in the 8th place spot. So Reese still kind of by himself on an island. Dorian sitting in 5th. Something has happened to Aiden as he has gone down. Rubes has reclaimed the 3rd place spot. So good news for Rubes as he has moved back up into the 3rd place spot. Another 2 points he earns on this battle with Dad Shoes. Stone Rider still in 2nd. So as you can see here, guys, your race leader for the entirety of this 20-minute moto, 20-minute main event is coming through the 2nd of 2 whoop sections, making a turn here, heading through the sand section, and the white flag is waiting to be waved for Dad Shoes. I cannot believe how fast this race has gone by. So here we go. The white flag is out. That means 1 lap remains for Dad Shoes to carry home an Atlanta 1 victory and edge closer to reclaiming the red plates in this championship. Stone Rider in 2nd all the way back here. Rubes does find his way into 3rd, so fortunate enough for him. He manages to hold on to that red plate just that much longer. Rubes is going to be dissatisfied with his performance here, I'm sure. Going to look to come out from Atlanta 2 and 3 with much more strength to take home some moto wins and finish in front of Dad Shoes, as Aiden makes a mistake there in the berm and goes down, but no one is there to reclaim that position as Dorian was not close enough to do so. Dorian's going to cross the finish line still in 5th, Reese still in 6th. Let's get on board here with Dad Shoes as he is riding this one home. Watch as the fastest rider on this track finishes out his lap and takes his checkered flags. Makes a little bit of a mistake there, but no worries. Waving to the camera he goes. Just 2 more corners remain for Dad Shoes as he is hitting the heel clickers. Smile and wave, boys. 1 more double and the checkered flag is out for your Atlanta 1 winner, the McMonster Kawasaki rider, Dad Shoes. Here comes Stone Rider in 2nd place. Another good finish for the Ariel KTM rider. Must recognize Stone Rider and Nico both for all the efforts that they do putting this together. Stone Rider with a backflip, heel clicker over the finish. And here comes Rubes in 3rd, so a very good ride. You know, it's a true statement what they say, championships are won on your bad nights. Rubes was looking at Dad Shoes reducing a 13-point lead down to a 6-point lead, and he managed to hold on to 2 more points. So I believe Dad Shoes will edge closer to that championship title by 5 points, reducing it from 13 to 8. Rubes has got to be conscious of that every single position that he gives away for the rest of this series. Still 4 more rounds after this. Atlanta 2, Atlanta 3, Salt Lake 1 and 2 as well. Reese is going to cross the finish line in 6th as he has held down that position comfortably all race long. Here comes Troy on the McMonster Kawasaki in 7th. David not close enough to make any sort of last lap pass here, as David will cross the finish line in 8th. So that should put MX Goon in 9th with Beast in 10th. Beast tries to take a last lap stab at Goon there. Not able to get it done, so Beast will round out your top 10. It's going to be Minnie on the MXB Mods Honda who crosses the finish line in 11th. I believe LeMunyon has made his way around Jones, finishing in 12th. Jones in 13th. And there you have it, guys. That is the 450 main event. Dad Shoes with the win. Stone Rider in 2nd. Rubes rounding out your podium. Aiden on the K-Bell Racing team, as well as Dorian, close out your top 5.